Hey everyone. I was not planning to go live tonight, but sometimes something happens and you have to kind of just pick up and go with what you got. I found out about an hour ago that old friend of mine, old Field Herpin buddy from Texas, passed away. His name was Joe. And a lot of kind of crazy stuff going on in his life. He wasn't in the best of health this last year. He wouldn't talk on the phone much. It kind of bummed me out because I was wanting to talk to him. I met him back around 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. Back when I was getting down into Texas a lot for herping and stuff, and hitting shows, things like that. I used to do that a lot more than I do today. Thanks, Arturo. You know, once in a while, someone comes along and they pass on some knowledge and stuff like that to you, and they teach you things that books really can't teach you, things that you have to kind of either see for yourself or experience. And Joe was a pretty incredible person. He was he would always refer to himself as the crazy missile or something. I can't say it the way he'd say it. It sounded like Daffy Duck or something, man. The guy was a trip. He'd always get everyone laughing. If you were to, if anyone was to sneak booze into a place, it would have been him. The guy was just one of these, I'm going to make my own rules kind of people. And it's really a heartbreaking time for me. And I think after this, I'm going to probably put together like a quick tribute video. I'll probably launch it both here and on the Roundup Rodeo channel. So that was another thing me and him hit it off about, was we both kind of had similar feelings about some of the things happening in Texas as far as the gas. You know, one thing that Joe said to me, I've never been able to get out of my mind, and I don't think now that I really want to. He'd always talk about like the animals and say, they share the earth with us, but we don't share it with them. And it was a pretty profound statement, because it made you think about what all we're doing to the environment, what all the things that we don't think about or consider. And it is what it is. I mean, people come into this world every day. They're born, they live, they die. It's going to happen to all of us. Joe was very much a big hand behind the scenes in many ways at the first Texas Rattlesnake Festival in 2014. Which I want to say Ori Martin, Don and Bonnie Hyatt, Bill Rulon Miller, people like that we were all in on that. And he'd always show up to it. It was a great thing. Hello, Miss Lady. Guy turned me on to a philosopher and a songwriter named Utah Phillips. And I would later go on to read some of his work. And another thing that I found that I'd heard him say time and time again was, the earth is not dying, it's being killed. And the people who are killing it have names and addresses. So very profound stuff from Utah. I wouldn't have found that stuff if it wasn't for Joe. Don't want to go too much into the personal details of what all happened tonight, but I believe he was 59. I think 9 years older than me, jeez. He had some health problems and stuff. He's just one of those people that, he would have laid down in front of a freaking tree if it was going to get bulldozed, if it had an active nest in it or something. He just was one of those people that, man, he did what he did. Never bragged about it, never talked about it, never took credit for it online. He wasn't about all that stuff. He just was like, man, I'm just here to help animals. And guy definitely was never really taken seriously by the scientific community. I don't think he wanted to be. I think he was kind of one of those, they sit there and push pencils and books all day. And he said, I'm out, saving turtle nests. It's the kind of dude he was. I'll never forget the time he told me about moving from Colorado to Texas. And he had a run-in with the gentleman that was I want to say he was one of the first Texas Rangers, if I remember correctly. Joaquin something. He was like one of the captains or something of the Texas Rangers back in the 70s, I think. And I remember the name sounded familiar at the time. And I was like, what happened? Tell me about him. What happened? And he was like, well, I was drunk in a bar, and this guy dragged me outside and beat the out of me. And I was like, oh gosh. He said that they thought he had stolen a truck, but it wasn't him. It was someone else. Case of mistaken identity. Or someone could be in the wrong place at the wrong time and have the most colorful story to tell about it. It was Joe. Talked to his significant other earlier by messenger. Not gonna get into names or anything because, not that important, but yeah, it just sounded like it was kind of a sad ending to everything. And these things happen sometimes. The last 6 months of this guy's life, I would call him probably once a week, once every other week. He wouldn't answer his phone. I'd talk to her, and she would say, he's pretty sick. He's pretty down about being sick, and he just don't want to talk to anybody. And sometimes he don't even want to talk to me. And that kind of told me about what I needed to know about the situation. But anyway, knowing that there was so much stuff going on in his life, I started snagging all the pics of like me and him from his profile page like 6 months ago. Because, like, it's something I've went through with other people. You undelete their voicemails that you did delete. You start archiving things because you see what's coming. It may sound morbid, but after going through the loss of my dad last year, it made a lot of sense. He's the guy in my Instagram and Facebook profile pics right now. He's been there for a while because I knew he wasn't doing well. And she would tell me that when she'd get to see him, she'd show him my profile picture and then make him smile. And I don't know, it's just kind of one of those moments of pain that, like, there's nothing you can do but sit there and ponder everything. Can't make anything better for anyone. Don't know that they'll have a public service. Don't know they'll get to go to it if it is. But yeah, I wasn't planning on going live tonight, and really, I'm not in the mood to go live tonight. But anyway, I always knew when something happened to this guy, it would really move me quite a bit, and that that it's just what can you do, Back when I was younger, it seems like I could drive to Kylene, Texas in about 7 hours, get 2 tanks of iced tea, just make the drive. I want to say the last time I saw him face to face was 2016 at Round Rock. Not at Round Rock, at Conroe, Texas. At the last Texas Rattlesnake Festival before it all disbanded, split up, went different ways. There were like 2 other festivals that were offshoots of it after that, and my God, there was some crazy stuff go on with all that. If I see a comment later in the comments about any of the stuff that went on back then from anyone, I'm just gonna delete you and block you, because I really just am not about digging up that crap again. Joe was one of those people that was just always there for the animals. He never wanted an ounce of credit. He would tell me what he did. There's a guy named Keith he was buddies with, and I didn't get along with Keith at all. We'd tell him things. And he'd like tell me or Keith something, and it'd be something just like amazing. Like he, got an escaped cobra out of a tree or something, something. Rescued a, litter of puppies or something that got dumped in a trash can, just stuff like that. And he was pretty damn phenomenal. I mean, but kind of like, unlike the way everything is today, where like a lot of people do something amazing or do something they think is noteworthy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but the first thing they do is that they post it to social media. Hey, made a 97 on this test, or I got, this license, or I got approved for this. That just wasn't his style, man. He was just like, I do what I do, and It's just I do it because it's the right thing to do. Learned a lot about humility from the guy. He was pretty sharp with that kind of stuff. He'd always talk about, our Mother Earth and our Sky Father, things like that. And about how, everything's interconnected. He could draw this stuff out so well. He could teach people a lot. Definitely would teach, kids stuff all the time. Because he always saw the kids as being the future. But anyway, I figured I would do this live. And I'm not going to be on a lot longer because I don't know, need some time to myself. And I did want to kind of have a snapshot of this moment in time. I'll probably leave this live up, but if it gets to bugging me, I may just unlist it at a later date. But if you see photos start popping to me on my Instagram or anything, or my Facebook, me looking a lot younger, maybe heavier in some instances, with a guy who was always wearing a cowboy hat of some kind. That'd be Joe. Did some snake hunting and stuff with him in Texas, like long before I knew anyone else down there in Texas. And guy showed me the ropes on some things, a few things I didn't know. I had years of experience doing a lot of things by that point, but I don't know. It's just something else. I think I'm going to make a video with a few rattlesnakes and a few pictures of me and Joe. It's not going to be the best thing. A few other people that were around him. Nothing, I'm just going to put like a rattlesnake's rattles, the background music to all of it. I think you'd like that. One of my best memories of him was in Round Rock in 2014. He comes into this restaurant we were all eating at with like this gun looking thing, but I knew right away it wasn't a real gun. People started freaking out. What it was like a bottle of tequila in like a gun-shaped rifle stock contraption. And my buddy Bill, he like pointed it right at his face. He's like, "Drink some of this, my friend, mi amigo." He's just crazy, loud, abrasive. Bill's like, "What is it?" And he's like, "It's tequila." Bill takes a shot. Good 2 or 3 shots off of it, if I remember correct. And then Joe just kind of goes deadpan on him and was like, that was actually truth serum. And if I start asking you questions 10 minutes from now and you tell me the truth, then I'll know that you really believe what you believe about this mess that everything was in. Is getting back to the whole efforts to stop borough gassing. Funny guy. He's just an absolute hellraiser. He had a real unique perspective on a lot of things. He saw how to approach a lot of situations. And he understood how to, not just see it from the ecological standpoint, but also see it from community standpoint, the farmer's standpoint, the landowner's standpoint, the people who were scared of wildlife, their standpoint. Really, really amazing fellow. Just, I couldn't write a book about everything that he did. And I'm pretty sure there's a big chunk of it I don't know. Last couple of years of his life, he got real into cryptozoology, specifically Bigfoot, because he swore he had an encounter one time. He was straight legit serious when he was telling me about it. He would, you could, really tell, because the guy was, never serious about anything. So, when he'd start talking about something, he'd just turn white. You'd be like, oh, God. He's, really kind of, kicking what he's thinking about. And anyway, we had differing views on that situation, but he saw a big creature once down in West Texas, somewhere down by the Mexican border. Could have been anything. Hell, he could have been drinking too much for all I know. Doesn't really matter now, anyway. But I figure I'm meant to be in bed by now. It's meant to be in bed about an hour ago, and it's just not going to happen tonight. Life has these ways of giving you subtle reminders of, hey, everything you think that's important in your goals and your work and your deadlines, they stop and change in a New York second, literally. Something like this happens, and you just kind of go along with it and write it out for what it's worth. But he's one hell of a guy. I don't know there will be another one like him anytime soon. Although there's someone around somewhere, probably in every town, that's a little like this guy. I don't want to get into, what, happened, what he passed away of, any of that stuff. That's his family's business. I know a little bit about it. I don't know all of it, but I knew he was sick. And I had known that hospice had been called in 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. I kind of thought he might bounce back from it, because he was kind of a tough dude. He'd get in fights, get thrown in jail, stuff like that. He just could never seem to do what the police would tell him to do, and that just kind of landed him in a bunch of trouble. But he's one of those people that just had to fight with everybody, and just wound up. No wonder he liked rattlesnakes so much, and I think that's part of the reason I like him. It's their attitude. A lot of people really despise the common rattlesnakes, like the diamondback, Mojaves, things like that, prairies. And I'm just sitting there thinking, God, those are the most fascinating ones, because they're big, they're bad, and they'll take your face off. And they don't care. But anyway, next day or two, this channel, my other channel, you see some old pictures of me and this taller Mexican guy wearing a cowboy hat. That was Joe. I think I'm going to slap together something that he would be happy with. If I get any drama from his extended family, I don't know. I'll just unlist it or something. I don't think they'll ever even see it, honestly. They don't know who I am. Don't really even know who they are. Whenever we hung out, it was just about the animals, what people could do to coexist with them better. When his buddy Keith, the guy that I didn't get along with, which is okay. I mean, you don't get along with everybody. When he passed away, he wrote a poem, put it on Facebook. A lot of people kind of laughed because this guy Keith was just a little march to his own drummer kind of guy, and and we had differing philosophies on things, but I wrote this poem about everybody laughed at Keith because he was so different, but Keith laughed at everybody else because they were so alike. That's one thing I remember out of that. He's had this way of seeing the other side of things. But anyway, I'm not going to go on too much about it tonight. I did want to do a live. Like I said, I may unlist it. I mean, this may not be out there tomorrow. I think it probably will be, but it may not be. So, because I'm sitting here going through stuff, pictures, books, memories, and dude was pretty amazing guy. And I don't know, I'm gonna miss him. Gonna miss him a lot. Kind of wish he'd have picked up the phone more that last year of his life, but I just told her, I said I'm kind of the same way. If I'm sick or down or don't feel good, I don't want to talk to people on the phone. I need my time with just my quiet. And he was a lot the same way. He'd just drive out into the desert and be with nature. Sometimes he'd get him in trouble. People, ask him what he's doing. He'd say, I'm talking to my mother. He'd be talking about the earth. Game rangers and stuff would think he's nuts. He's being like deadpan serious. I mean, next thing you know, they'd think he's up to no good or something. But the guy just totally marched to his own drummer, and he's going to be missed by a lot of people. Me, all the old TRF crew from 2014 to 2016. Except the people that kind of shot off, went their own way. That happens. I'm not saying I blame him either. It's just that happens. It does bring back a lot of feelings from that time, a lot of stuff from the past. But man, I'm choosing to try to wrap my head around the good stuff. 2016, I was in Houston, Texas for the TRF 2016 Expo. It was a great show with a lot of animals, a lot of educational events going on. Tons of kids. Me and him were carrying around this like huge 18-foot long Burmese python. We were like letting kids get their picture taken with it while we were holding it. It's just good times. I remember walking around with like a 6-foot long black-throated monitor on my shoulder. I threw it over my shoulder like it was a baby, and it was just so chill that it just sat there. It didn't try to claw my face off or eat my face, which, monitor lizard that size can easily do. And Either way, buddy, Joe, wherever you are out there in the universe, I'm gonna miss you, bud. You were a good one. Thank you for teaching me what you taught me. Thank you for doing what you did for the animals. Thank you for passing that on to others. You did a lot of that stuff. I'm just lucky I'm one of the few people that heard about it. I think I'm going to try and work on that tribute video for him. I think if I do it and do it now, it'll get off my head a little, you know? It's like, I just kind of think that, you know, that's something I need to do. Saw this day coming. Never used to see things like this coming, and now I'm sure it's just age and experience. Oh. But anyway, if you're a friend of mine on a deeper level than, you know, just like, than just YouTube. I mean, if you know me in real life, or if you just know me through YouTube and you like me, say a prayer for his significant other. Say a prayer for his family. I think I'm going to leave it at that. It just, not a lot needs to be said. I don't think. Joe always said, man, I'm not a man of words. I'm a man of action. No need talking about the right thing when you could be out there doing the right thing. That's just the way a guy was. He's like, go to it, get it done, attack it. You know, piss off a bunch of people in the process. That was him. Anyway, I'm going to try not to fixate on a lot of things tonight and just try and remember some good times. Like I said, I got some pictures lined up. I think I'm going to slap those together in a video. The video may not make sense if you didn't catch this live, or if you didn't know that we were friends, or the backstory. I mean, that's okay. I mean, but anyway, just don't know what else to do right now. Pretty tore up about it all. I think I hide it pretty well. I could be wrong. One of the few people I would actually sit down and really, really, really miss, because he was just so, he touched your life if you knew him. You couldn't know him and him not touch your life, I'll say that. It's probably a better way to say it. But, yeah, you're right, Jay. Yeah, man, I didn't get out this weekend. It ended up raining over here and not over there. Salamandering went psh. Still the rest of the month. Should be some good weather for it, but oh well. I'm gonna turn off my phone now and probably have it off for a day or two. Hit me up at Wagner County Snake Hunter on Instagram, and you won't get a message back in the next 24 hours. That much I guarantee you. But do some thinking to myself. Go play with my dog a little. Just kind of look back at some things. Think back to the good times and stuff. Because there were a lot. Guys, thank you for listening to me. I know this probably didn't mean a lot to a lot of you. It probably did mean something to some of you. And either way, all of froze this moment in time. It's November 12th, November 11th, something like that. Somewhere around there. I'll see it when I hit publish or when I save this video. I'll be able to look back. But his significant other is probably going to call within the hour. And that's about the only person I'm going to answer the phone for. I think next 24 hours probably. She's pretty torn up about it. She didn't get to see him a lot there at the end. Kind of sucks, but I've actually kind of been in a similar situation before, so kind of know. I'm not gonna say I know how she feels, but I kind of know how I felt when I was in that situation. Remember, when you see a spider, when you see a coyote, when you see a snake, they share the earth with us. We don't share it with them. That was Joe.